24 hours after a nuclear disaster was narrowly avoided in Ukraine, there's a warning Russian forces might be planning to increase their attacks on major cities. It's been 10 days since Vladimir Putin's invasion began, and he's showing no signs of slowing.
As the smoke clears from what could have been global disaster, an alarming look at just how close it came. This damage from heavy weapons at Europe's largest nuclear plant. A hole burnt right through the corridor between reactors. Inside, terrified workers pleading with Russian forces to stop firing. Warning the troops, you are endangering the safety of the entire world.
It is for the first time in our history that the terrorist state turned to nuclear terrorism.
With Russians now in control of Zaporizhzhia, staff say they're carrying out their roles at gunpoint. The Ukrainian energy minister speaking to 9 News from a bunker in the capital.
That staff is surrounded by Russian militaries. What they're doing has no explanation.
No radioactive material was released, a nuclear near miss.
We have survived the night that could have stopped the history of Ukraine and Europe.
The UN Security Council holding an emergency meeting where, with the world watching, Russia's ambassador denied its involvement.
We have once again heard lies about how Russian troops attacked the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant.
The American embassy in Ukraine has called the attack a war crime.
If we allow those principles to be violated with impunity, then we're opening a Pandora's box.
The US stopping short of military engagement.
The only way to actually implement something like a no-fly zone is to send NATO planes into Ukrainian airspace and to shoot down Russian planes, and that could lead to a full-fledged war.
Vladimir Putin making his own statement, telling his neighbours he has no bad intentions towards them.
And I would also advise them not to escalate the situation.
But on his biggest neighbour, another day of relentless attacks. The gunfire constant and indiscriminate. A Sky News team filmed as they were ambushed by militants.
Journalist! Whoa! Stop!
They somehow escaped with their lives. But on Russian television, a different picture. Here, troops deliver humanitarian aid. The message working on many at home.
Да, Киев никто не бомбит, я этому не верю.
Путин такого не мог сделать. Напасть на Украину тем более.
Moscow's Department of Education releasing a video painting NATO as the aggressor.
Мы поговорим о событиях на Украине.
Access to information getting harder by the day. Twitter and Facebook have now been banned shortly after the Kremlin introduced a 15-year jail sentence for spreading so-called false information. This independent TV station shutting down, its entire staff resigning on air. The station playing Swan Lake, the same ballet broadcast on state TV during the fall of the Soviet Union. International news, including the BBC, also blocked, the network choosing to close down its Russia bureau, fearing for the safety of its staff. But as foreign news is shut out of Russia, foreign fighters are coming in to Ukraine.
So this will be the front lines.
US soldier David Brymer is one of many international fighters arriving in Lviv to help train young Ukrainians heading into battle.
Whatever happens, we will be prepared as we possibly can be, and we will be here until it's over.
The terrain here has shifted. Their resolve has not.
So that's another air raid siren. A warning for everyone to get inside and underground, so we're going to go and find a bunker.
Even here, the threat of Russian reconnaissance or attack is ever present. The city's historic monuments tightly wrapped to protect them from explosions. Ukraine's culture under threat, its people refusing to fall.
Thank you. We will win.
Amelia Adams is in the city of Lviv in western Ukraine. And Amelia, today there will finally be some reprieve.
Yeah, Georgie, the first humanitarian corridors will be created to get civilians out of a couple of heavily bombarded cities and get aid supplies in. That was agreed on in peace talks earlier in the week, but it's limited and it's temporary. And US officials now say Moscow is preparing to send 1,000 more mercenaries here to Ukraine to boost flagging Russian troops. The warning tonight, Vladimir Putin is preparing to bombard cities into submission. There has been a third round of peace negotiation flagged for some time this weekend, but I have to say, Georgie, there really is not a lot of optimism here for a breakthrough or ceasefire.
Amelia,
Yo, King! Hey, King! 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 Yo, King! Yo, King! Sabar, sabar.
Apa ni Pak Burwa? Cuma mira man.
Iwe!